Well, the Quran is easy to read once you become accustomed to it. But if you've been a Bible reader all your life, it's very difficult to kind of catch the context initially. And once you've talked with some Muslims and kind of get some background and some understanding, it gets easier. And then I found that if I read the Quran, once I read the Quran to a certain part and was understanding what I was reading, it was easy. I went back to the beginning and started again, and that was much clearer and easier. The Bible is very easy to read. Certainly in a lot of places really boring, like Numbers, and when they're doing all the genealogies and they're talking about that. But it is important. It was important, especially to the Jews of the time in the Old Testament, to have the genealogies, because their beliefs were strong about their lineage to the 12 tribes. I also had some problems with the Bible, and that I found there were contradictions and things I didn't understand. Normally, when I say something that seemed one thing that seemed to contradict another, because I believed, because I was brought up to believe, I just think, well, when I get to heaven, I'll find out what this means. Or maybe sometime I can ask somebody. Rarely did I ever ask anyone. Bible reading when I was younger was not encouraged. And as an adult, when I was reading, and I made the effort to read it twice, I was among people who read it all the time, and among people who were doing Bible studies, and indeed I attended Bible studies, but I didn't always feel free to ask questions. But I did find some things that were really bothering, really inconsistent. And for instance, one, we're certainly always taught about the Trinity, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. All one God, all equal, all fully empowered, even as individuals. For instance, Jesus, as a human, was fully God, fully human. God the Father was in heaven, was fully God. The Holy Spirit was fully God, fully Holy Spirit. Didn't make sense. It did not make sense. So if Jesus was fully human and fully God, why did he say the Father is greater than I? Why did he beg the Father when he was on his knees the night before his death with tears of blood running down his face? Why did he beg the Father, if there is any way that this cup should pass from me, I would ask you to do that. But if not, I will drink it. I mean, that's really sad, isn't it? I mean, if he's God and he's begging God, it just doesn't make sense to me. The other thing that doesn't make sense to me is John 14, when Jesus says the Father is greater than I. Well, if they're both fully God and fully who they are, how can the Father be greater? And another place where Jesus says, so if you ask any Christian, Jesus is fully God, which means he's omnipotent, all-knowing, all-powerful, all-present, all of those attributes of God. But if he is all-knowing, why, when the people ask him about when is the last day, he says, only the Father knows, not the Son nor the angels know. Neither the Son nor the angels know of this. Only the Father knows. So that's another stark contradiction for me about reading the Bible.